Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. So in this episode we are going to do a recap and a review of Love and Marriage Huntsville season 2 episode 13, titled A Not So Wandaful Surprise. Yes, I have my notes, as you know, if you watch my channel and I do these reviews and recaps. You know I keep a notebook, so I gotta stay on track. Alright, so we start out where we have Martell meeting up with his uncle, and they're going to buy suits. He says quarantine, Martell look a little bit like he's been working out a lot, so he's gotten a little bit bigger, and he said he needs to get at least 5 suits. So he's talking to his uncle, and his uncle is just asking, how's everything going with you and Mel. He's telling him he sees what's going on in the media, and he just wants to remind Martell that, you got to try to keep the kids, as I've been saying, have to try and keep the kids out of it, keep them as safe as possible, make sure that they're not affected in any way. So his uncle was just reiterating that to him. And then he also asked him, how is the project going? The 47 acres where he's supposed to be doing the development of the house, the community, the houses, and the apartment building. And he goes and tells his uncle that right now it's on hold based on everything that's going on in the media, and the fact that Melody is the one who put it out in the media, and if she didn't do that, then maybe they would still have the deal going on. But because she put their business out there, the person or the development company is on social media and they see everything that's going on, and right now they put it all on hold. So we leave Martell and his uncle at the getting his suits. Then we have Maurice and Jalen. I like this scene. This was a good scene. So remember last week I told you about the office space that Maurice and Kimmie rented, and they have an office in there for Jalen as well. So Jalen is at the office getting his office ready to just furnish it or whatever. He's doing his little measurements, and Maurice walks in and asks him, so what's going on? So he explains to Maurice. I like the fact what he said about the alopecia sofa. The fact that the prices that he's looking at, that's all he can afford, pleather sofa. So he's not even entertaining that. And again, he brought up the fact, like what I told you guys in the last episode, where he did approach Maurice about he approached Marceau about doing an apprenticeship with him, and Marceau told him that he didn't have time. And again, he brought it up to Maurice, and Maurice is like, Marceau is a busy man. Now my question is, if Marceau is so busy, wouldn't he want to have somebody who would do some free labor for him if he wanted the kid around? So that's my thing. It's like he doesn't want the kid around. Whatever Marceau is doing, he does not want Jalen around to see what's going on. How busy can you be where you would refuse to get help? Anybody who's busy would want help. And if it's going to be free help, then why not have him around? So I'm like, okay, it doesn't take that much to teach somebody. Well, it does take a lot to teach somebody something, but if you bring him on and you work with him and you don't like the way he's working, then you tell him, okay, no, this is not going to work out, but at least give the kid a chance. So he and Maurice get to talking some more, and Maurice is asking him, so what are you doing in order to work on what you're passionate about? What are you doing to get your future plans going? And he's like, well, I'm just working right now, making ends meet, and I'm not doing anything. Well, to Jalen, I would say what you can do in order to get your self going is do research. Get on YouTube. They call it YouTube University. Get on YouTube, buy some books and read it. Just get as much knowledge as possible that you can without being hands-on. Being that Marceau is not willing to help you, okay, that door closed, knock on another door. Maybe Martell is willing to help, and maybe another contractor that's not in the family is willing to work with you. You got to just keep asking until somebody actually says, yes, I'll work with you. But at the same time, Maurice is telling him, which I agree with, that he is lucky not to be boggled down with student loans, because a lot of us come out of college and still paying student loans years later. He even mentioned that President Obama was in office and was still paying off student loans. So the fact that Kimmie made sure that that was off the table, off his plate, that was awesome. So now he just has to focus on getting his future going, and he got to hit the ground running. So to Maurice's point, you're not doing anything right now. You need to get up and actually get going and do stuff for yourself. So we leave them. No, actually, he mentioned something about moving out, Maurice. So he's like, I'm getting ready to move out anyway. And Maurice is like, oh my God, you're not getting it. Right now you're in a house where you don't have to pay rent. You have food, you have you can wash your clothes, you have laundry services right there, you have a warm bed to sleep in, you have a roof over your head. Just focus on getting what you need. Then he's bringing up the fact of the situation that we're all in. It's not easy. Yes, it's not easy for any of us right now, but at the same time, you can't just sit back and relax. Just go to work and come home. Go to work and come. You have to put that extra time. You're only at work, 8 hours per day for most people? Commuting, an extra hour or so? What are you doing with the rest of your time? Make sure that you're investing the rest of your time into what you want for your future. So when the opportunity comes, you're ready to go. Okay? All right. So we leave Maurice and Jalen at the office. And then we head over to Holt and Holt. We have Melody and Martell meeting up. They are meeting up to discuss what is going to happen to their empire, because they have so much things that's under the Holt and Holt brand that they need to decide what they're going to save, what they're going to dissolve or whatever. So they go down the list. First of all, Melody looked beautiful when she walked in that place. She looked put together. She came down. She was ready for business. I could tell she threw Marceau off his game, because at that point you could see where Melody was the one in charge and Marceau was trying to play catch up. Based on the conversation that we're having, he was losing his cool. Oh my God, this is the first time I've ever seen him that. Usually Melody is the one on the defense having to answer, and she's usually getting angry. But this time her voice was nice and calm and cool. She did not let him get to her. But at one point he did, and I think it was out of pure emotion. So she comes in. They're talking about what happened at the house, the fact that he showed up and he came to talk business. But she was like, but you didn't tell me you came to talk business. You came and you started with the argument, and that's just how it was. The fact that he's bringing up the fact that she was cheating also, and she's not a saint. They're making it seem like he's so bad when she's also at fault for things that are going on in the marriage. So she's like, okay, whatever. Let's just get down to business. They talked about that for a little while. Then they got down to business. She's like, okay, what about Holt and Holt? What happened to the 47 acres of the development that we're supposed to be doing? He was like, well, that's on hold right now, and I'll update you at a later date. Because as we know, he said the development is on hold, but Martell is willing to speak to the person and see if he could get it back on track. They go down the line, and then they come to Embrace Me. So as you remember, Melody was just kicking off her skincare beauty line when all of this hit the fan. So Martell is like, she was like, Melody, he was like, so what about Embrace Me? I thought we agreed on 50. I would get 15% of that. She was like, no, that doesn't have anything to do with you. But he was like, but I put all my money behind you. And of course, he's getting heated as he's saying this. I put all my money behind you. Whatever I had, I make sure that we worked on branding Melody Holt. So therefore, I believe I deserve some of it. And she was like, nope, we're going to dissolve it. He was like, what? He lost it after that. After that, I don't think Martell had nothing calm about him. He was ready to get into it with Melody. And then she's like, so what's next? M&M kids enter all their business. She named about 5 other businesses before that, after that. And he was like, no, let's go back to Embrace. And then that's when he went in to say, I did everything to make sure that you were able to build your brand. And I put all that money into you and whatever. So therefore, make sure that brand is doing well and make sure that I get my 50%. The Melody was like, yo, what? The way she cocked her head to the side and looked at him like, yes, Melody, you got it under control in this scene. So all right, they went back and forth for a while. Melody was like, you know what? This meeting is over. So she gets up and she's leaving. He's like, Melody, sit down. She's like, I will not. Then she walks out. She goes into her car. He catches up to her as she's trying to pull out of the parking spot. He was like, we need to talk about the money that you took out of the joint account. You transfer money from the joint account into your personal account. And we need to talk about it. Melody just kept reversing her car as if to say, boy, watch your toes. Don't make sure I don't run over your toes. And she drove out of that parking lot and left Martell standing there. Melody has got it under control. About time, girl. This man has been making you look like a fool out here. And it's about time that you take charge and make sure that you take care of everything that you're supposed to. All right. Now we leave them there. We leave Martell standing in the parking lot, like I said. Then we go over to Destiny and Letitia. So Destiny's in her store. She's there with the baby. Letitia comes in to buy some products to for her. It's wash day for her girls. So she came to buy some shampoo and conditioner for the girls. And Letitia goes to invite Destiny to her mommy business podcast, I think it's called. Yeah, mommy business podcast. And Destiny agrees. And Letitia's like, I would like to also invite Kimmie, because maybe you guys could just try and mend whatever issues you have there. And then Destiny goes in to tell us that at the when Maurice had the town hall meeting, that she did talk to Kimmie, and they kind of got into it again, and she still don't understand why they can't just mesh and come together. So she agrees that she would do it with Kimmie. Now we leave it. That was a quick scene. Then now we have Marceau and Letitia at his business place. I forget the name of it. So they're discussing about building the house on the 10 acres, and they're going into they're meeting with their uncle Mike, who's an architect, and they're looking over the floor plans and everything. And Tisha asks that the kids have a playroom, and according to Marceau, he's like, they're getting big. By the time the house is finished, they won't need a playroom. So she was like, no, they need a playroom even though they're getting older. And by the way, this is my house, so let me tell him what I want. So Marceau stepped back a little bit, and at the same time, the same real estate guy that met with Martell came and knocked on the door, and he asked Marceau to come outside. So he goes in to tell Marceau the story about the 47 acres and ask him if he wants to be. No, he didn't even tell him up front like that. He tells him, okay, there's a project that's coming up that you may be interested in, and it's on 47 acres of land. So Marceau is like, the 47 acres that the Holt and Holt is supposed to do? So he was like, yeah. So he's like, I don't know if I want to get involved in that. He's like, well, it was Martell's idea that I come talk to you. So if you're interested, let me know. So he's like, all right, I'll think about it and get back to you. He goes back inside now, and he tells Tisha and his uncle what's happening. And Tisha's like, you need to stay away from that. Don't get involved in anything that they're doing, because you don't know if they're going to turn on you again. So he was like, okay, I'll do it by myself. So Tisha was like, so why did you ask my opinion? He's like, well, you didn't give me a chance to tell you everything. I don't want to walk away from a $10 million profit. And she was like, well, it's not all about the money sometimes. Sometimes you just need to walk away from things that are going to affect your family. So his uncle had a few things to say about it. But I don't think that's the end of it. We're going to hear more about that right here. So that was a little thing between Tisha and Marceau, and I think Marceau is going to end up eventually taking the project and do a very good job at it, because as I told you before, it's supposed to be multi-family units and single family homes on 47 acres of land. They're trying to redevelop that part of Alabama, and according to them, the housing is needed. So move forward, get it done. That's what this whole show was supposed to be about from the get-go. And I'm glad to see that they're actually moving forward with some sort of project. So that would be good. Now we have Maurice and Kimmie. They're throwing the celebrations for Jalen graduating from college, and they're doing it at an at an outdoor event space. I'm guessing like a restaurant, and they're using the outdoor. She said because of the situation we're in, that she had to do several parties for him, and at this party she really just wanted her business associates. So she made sure she met with Melody first to ask her if it was okay to invite Martell. So she invited Martell, Melody, Marceau, Letitia, and Destiny, and herself and Maurice, of course. So day of the event now, everybody's at the table. They all come in one by one. And everybody showed up, including Mel and Martell. And they talk about how proud they are of Jalen. At that point, Marceau gifted Jalen a Rolex watch, which was really nice. And also they celebrated Jalen and Maurice together because, as you remember, Maurice passed the bar. He's now an attorney. So Kimmie took the opportunity to make sure she highlight the men in her life, which was really, really nice. Now the drama started when Miss Wanda showed up. It so happened that Letitia invited her mom. Letitia invited her mom to come to the event. When Melody saw that, she was like, oh my God, I'm not staying very long. I'm ready to go. So she told Kimmie, she's like, I'm about to bounce. As soon as Miss Wanda saw that Melody was getting up to leave, say goodbye to everybody, she ran over there. Mel, you ready to leave already, girl? Why are you leaving? Let me talk to you. So she walks her out to a little area in the front. She's heading to the parking lot. And she says there's plenty of men out there. And Martell overhears this. Martell overhears her say this. Again, he was in the middle of eating. He gets up from the table. He goes over there. He's like, well, since there's so many men out there, why don't you go get one? And Miss Wanda's ignoring him. She is trying to talk to him. She's like, you're a beautiful girl. Girl, you don't need all of this. You can find another man. You don't need this. And Martin's like, and what about you talking about my kids? What about you talking about my kids? He's like, and Miss Wanda is still trying to ignore him. Eventually, Melody finds herself, she was able to walk away and leave the two of them standing there. Poor Destiny, who had walked with Melanie to walk her towards the car, had to come and try to get in between them. And then when Melody finally left, she's trying to get in between Mama Holt and Martell. And I think, that's where that's not where it ended. And Mama Holt said to Martell, right now you're acting like a bee. And Martell like, but you are one. And don't you ever say anything about my kids. And she's like, I ain't saying nothing about your kids. And come to find out she did, because Martell went on his Instagram page and he posted a live that Miss Wanda did. And she was talking about the fact that she didn't want her grandkids to go to that party that Mel was having for her daughter. And her daughter requested that they come. She didn't want her grandkids to go to the party because she said it in the live. He posted it on Instagram that she don't want her grandkids to pick up any of the energy that Martell and his family was giving off. And that wasn't cool. Yeah, you don't come for the kids. I agree with Martell. You don't come for the kids. But maybe he should not have gone off there. I guess he's going to take every opportunity he can. And I guess he was already boiling from the fact that she made that statement or did that live. And, he don't need nobody coming at him right now. He's dealing with enough with Melody. And for Miss Wanda to be so nosy and all up in their business, as they would say, he didn't want that. So the way that the episode ended is Martell walked away from her. And Miss Wanda is walking towards the parking lot where Melody is to go catch up with Melody to talk to her. So in the next episode, we don't know if she's going to catch up to her to talk to her. But at that restaurant, Martell and Miss Wanda went into it. Nobody was backing down. It took Destiny to actually pull Martell away from her. Yeah, it took Destiny to pull Martell away from Miss Wanda. So that's the recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 2, Episode 13, titled A Not So Wandaful Surprise. That's a great title. Alright guys, thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And tune in for the next review. I'm gonna watch the next episode and come back and do a recap and a review for you guys. And let's hope that even though Melody and Martell are going through this hard time publicly, that everything will work out well for them. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.